mean to show myself in this, but here goes. But I'm going to turn it around and flip things down. And we're going to see how live streaming straight from the YouTube app works. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. So what's everybody? What's everybody? What's up, everybody? This is Marshall Lee of DonkeyJawProject.com. Not Donkey Jaw Projects anymore. Maybe we'll get into that. I mean, it's not a big deal. Basically, I lost DonkeyJawProjects.com because I let it kind of default into the no man zone, I guess, whatever that means. And somehow I wasn't able to recover it. But that's okay, because I actually like DonkeyJawProject.com better because the direction I'm kind of going in these days. So let's just get into. I'm just trying to do like a little bit of mono print or whatever, like gel prints. I've been just trying to figure out ways to make these monotypes and monoprints or whatever. And there's like all these techniques, and I'm trying them and they're not working for me. So it's kind of frustrating. But let's see if we can do something. Because I'm trying different materials out. So let's just get a piece of paper and scribble on it. I guess this is going to be kind of a weird move, but I'm going to put, this thing is dusty. I'm going to put this down on the thing so I can just do a little drawing, like, and when I say drawing, I mean scribble. So, how are you guys doing this fine Monday morning? One thing I like doing is like fake writing these days. It's kind of cool. There's a word for that, but I don't remember what the word is. So let's see if this does a resist. Because I've tried, apparently you can use oil pastels, and but the ones I've tried so far haven't worked. So this is a different oil pastel, so maybe this one will work. Actually, I should correct that. It has worked. But I noticed you had to like really press down hard, and it didn't get a very strong print. So I don't know, we'll see. So let me get a darker color. We'll get this kind of dark blue. So this channel I changed. It used to be called Marsh Makes Comics, as anybody who is here live will probably know, because why are you here if you're not here for checking out what's going on with Mr. Marsh Makes Comics? I guess, I don't know, or maybe you just stumbled on here. Either way, I don't know which way you're supposed to say that, but either way, I've changed it to Marsh Lee, because I no longer want to be defined, boxed in, caged in, whatever, by one interest. And I don't really want to start over necessarily, and I don't think I need to necessarily. So here I'm going to put this down, this little scribble, and I still want to do comics. And you know, it's the funniest thing is, because I have so many things I want to do, but the funniest thing is, I changed on all my accounts from Marsh Makes Comics to some version of Marsh Lee. And the moment I did that, I feel like the next day or whatever, like apparently I decided, oh, I am suddenly fine. Like I felt like I was forcing, like, well, I gotta make it some kind of comic because I'm called Marsh Makes Comics everywhere and this and that. And then like, but I wasn't really feeling it. I was feeling doing a bunch of other stuff. I kept getting distracted, and I love comics, but this is actually coming up good. Sweet. Finally, something working. So this is just, I mean, I can still use this, but this is meant to be, and this could actually be used a second time, probably. Let's test that out. I'll leave that over here. And we'll put this, let's see, it's probably not, no, it is, yeah, it's not, it's even kind of automatically dry already. So I didn't want to be boxed in. There's crusties. Painting crusties. Let's see if I can see myself being live here. Let's do this. Is it there? Why doesn't it show a new video? Like,
one thing that many people will
I don't want to see my old video.
is not using
So I wanted to make, I like I said, I changed it. Like I want to do different. I want to be able to do different things on here. I still have my music YouTube. Excuse me. Because sometimes I just want to post just simply music, like just by itself, and I don't like have any necessarily great big ambitions for that channel. It's just more a place for me to just put that music when I do it. Put up like a little video about whatever I'm doing with the modular or whatever. And you know, sometimes I do like more robust videos, and it does okay, but it's still not like at a point where it could be monetized or anything. I think I have like maybe 1,000 subscribers. I don't know. By now, could be wrong. But so I'm keeping that one because there's no pressure there. Excuse me. So let's pull this or get this going. See how it pulls up. It's funny though, because like I said, the moment I decided, you know, all right, well, I'm not gonna be boxed in by Marsh Makes Comics anymore. I suddenly have like this comic stuff I want to do like flowing through me. And before I get to that, I'll talk a little bit more about what's, you know, kind of behind it. So recently I've been like really like, I've gone through like some major changes in my like ideas on faith and stuff. Oh, that came out great. Look at that. Now finally, like, so what these are, like these Van Gogh pastels, oil pastels, and they work beautifully. At least the one I used this brown one. It works amazingly. So, and it kind of doesn't matter what color you use, because I pulled up green because I put green down, you know. So let's see if I can do another one with the same situation. Maybe I'll just try the same combination again, because then I'll be able to kind of have a good test of like how it looks. But I don't remember. Oh, I used that dark blue color. Okay, yeah, so we'll do the blue first. Sorry, this isn't the most amazing like video stuff, but yeah, it's not pulling up on YouTube though, that like there's a video. Let's see if there's anybody here. Doesn't look like there's anybody here, so Yeah, I don't get this live video thing, but this is kind of a test, anyways. Uh, so anyways, so I've been going through these kind of changes in faith. Not like, I mean, still 100% Christian. That's like, you know, better say like I love the Bible, so like I'm a Bible believer and a Christ follower, I guess is the best way to put it. I don't know if sometimes, I mean, I'm kind of cool with it, but like some people who are going through similar things that I'm going through, with my faith, they don't like to be called Christian anymore. And I guess I still don't mind it. I wasn't like heavily traumatized by the church like some people have been. There's some trauma actually, but it's not like a congregational trauma. It's more of like a doctrinal trauma, and it's pretty definitely like traumatic. Like, to the point where I got to a point where I couldn't even read my Bible anymore. And that's crazy because I love my Bible and I've been, you know, a believer since, I mean, kind of all my life. I've sort of believed in God, although there was definitely a period where I very heavily questioned it when I was very young. But around high school is when I like really like realized, no, I believe in Jesus. Like I read the book of John, the Gospel of John. I mean, and and I was like, oh no, I'm a, yeah, look at that. It's coming up with another like nice little ghost print. It probably won't be as strong, but so let me get another piece of paper. So that was the time where I like really solidified my faith, and I became like addicted to the Bible, and like it took over everything, for me. Like, but you come into the church and there's all kinds of different kind of churches, different doctrines, this and that. And I just loved it. Like I didn't feel threatened by anything. But I also was confused by certain things, and still, I mean, you never come to a full knowledge. I don't think even in heaven we'll come to a full knowledge of any of God, at least, because God is infinite and we're finite. But anyways, so I've just gotten to this place of like, I got to this place where it was like I couldn't read my Bible anymore because and I'll probably put some of this into some of my comics and stuff. I was thinking of doing like an autobio comic, but that's not really where I'm at right now. But that would go into this kind of stuff a lot more. So I don't know if I'll do anything quite that literal or not, but we'll see. So because of that kind of, or I don't know where I left off exactly, but I have just basically come to a realization that some of the major doctrines, I'm starting to question, or I've come to a different conclusion on, I should say. So, and it's still orthodox. It's still Jesus is the way and the truth and the life and all that. That's like a huge part of what I believe. But there's been a shift that's significant. So anyways, I don't need to get into all that. This channel isn't, well, that's the thing, is I want my channel to be something where I can talk about that too, because I need to be able to at least a little bit. Actually, I have another separate channel that I made specifically for that, so I probably won't go like deep into that kind of thing here. We'll see, but I, I've always been open about my faith, and I don't plan on changing that. So, um, so I don't know. I've been going through some changes. So the point is, like, I'm so excited to talk about those things. Um, but there's come, we'll put it this way, there's come a whole lot more grace, freedom, love, like just a freedom to feel like I'm really, I don't know, like loved by God. It's probably the best way to put it. And and it's been beautiful. And so anyways, it's inspired me. Now I'm not, I don't have this kind of fear. Here's the two different ones. So that's pretty cool. Like I still kind of got that. Now, can I continue and do more? Yes, but it's going to continue to fade. So probably two decent prints could come out of like that maybe. So I'm so happy that I finally got a resist to work. So yeah, and no matter how messed up these papers become, like you can still use them some way somehow. Like it's with like either abstract art or as like just collage paper or whatever. Like you really kind of can't mess up. I'll show you some of the stuff I've kind of with all my experiments come up with, most of which would technically feel like a failure, but is not a failure because of what I just said. You can still use it. But I plan on doing a bunch of these monoprints. I want to do like a series of monoprints, and I just really love the medium of gel plate and monoprints and stuff. So I'm going to be doing that. So that's the thing on this channel. I want to do just straight up art, I want to do comics. I want to incorporate my music and some thoughts on faith and stuff, like all that stuff. I want to just be able to incorporate. So I'm still making comics, so people who come to me here for that, you're still going to get that because I'm so excited, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what my plans are in a minute. But mixed in is going to be just straight up art, as well, and whatever else, strikes my fancy. It'll still be, but I'll still be doing comics. So this is just brayer offs, but I like how some of these brayer offs, I mean, I plan on doing art or using them for collage paper anyways. I've been doing them in my sketchbooks a lot, but sometimes it's like, well, that's great and all, but you gotta like sketch in your sketchbook too. See, this was one where I was trying a bunch of different pens and markers and this and that to see if I could get some kind of relief. And I think it's called, or no, resist. And basically the idea is you make marks, and when you put paint down on, like when you get that on the gel plate, it becomes a resist. And then you put other paint, you could do all kinds of different things onto that plate after this is dry. And what will happen is, what happened with these is that the paper lifted off all the paint except for what was on this, I guess. But at the same time, yeah, it's kind of confusing, to be honest, because it does color this. So oh yeah, so I put the paint down, the first one, like this, and then it leaves this oil resist thing on there, and then I'm not sure how I got this green. Oh, so this color was like a blue color, but it doesn't really matter. See, I'm confusing myself. Like the point is like it's supposed to like pull up like all this negative space is the part that where it pulled the paint up, and the other spot is like was resisted, so it leaves that mark in that resistance spot. But I'm a little confused at why it's this color. And I literally just did it twice, but I don't understand necessarily the science of it. um, but it makes sense if it's. I think it's just a mix of this blue and this color. Um, so yeah, I think that's what it is. So yeah, that's right. So it left a blue, a dark blue. When I actually put the resist down, and then it picked up that blue and whatever color I put on top of it. If that makes sense. I'm still trying to I think excuse me, I think I got that right. So anyways, so I'm doing all this stuff. Like I said, there's been like huge changes in my thoughts in faith. Not like total faith changing situations, but things that have freed me up a lot. And even my view on politics is, I feel like change isn't the right way to put it, but kind of corrected itself. I'm no longer interested in either side of the political aisle. I'm not impressed by either side of them. So I'll just leave that there. But but anyways, so a lot has changed. So anyways, the comics that I have basically two projects, and they're both kind of big projects that I'm planning on doing. And even like the whole idea of Donkey Jaw Project, because now it's not projects, it's donkeyjawproject.com. Even that idea has shifted. It still has to do with what it had to do with before, but it's like expanded. And that's like a really cool, fun thing too. So, and I'm kind of even more committed to that as well now. So I did get this resist. I mean, these resists did work, but they just weren't as strong as I wanted them to be, like they are with this one. So, and you can see me doing DJP. This these I was using like these kind of like distressed inks for this, and those are really fun to use with gel plate too. It's different. It's a little bit of a different experience. Oh, I got this cool logo thing, but I cut off the Donkey Jaw projects because it's not projects anymore. So now it's just the head there. So so anyways, the idea is very much linked to Donkey Jaw projects anyways, it's gonna be hard not to say it with the S, but these are just sprayer offs. Some of them. So anyways, so the idea, I first started out with like I want to do a Samson comic. And the way I've been learning how to understand the Bible differently than I used to, I did this in a little Instagram video the other day, and I think it's here on YouTube as well. Just a little, what do you call it, the shorts or whatever. So, yeah. Let's try this, the Prismacolors pastels. Oil. Oh, these aren't oil pastels, or they are? These are dry pastels. I mean, I think you can do some stuff with the dry pastels too. But I have other oil pastels. So Well, the thing with the dry pastels is you can. That's a different technique. I'll try that another time. But you can get like literal transfers, not like you don't have to do the. I don't think it has to be a resist. It can just be like literal transferring the pastel to the page. So so I'm like I'm gonna do a Samson, because that's where the whole donkey jaw projects thing comes from. Donkey jaw, like he used the donkey jaw of the jawbone of a donkey to kill 1,000 men or whatever, which, to be honest, was like, oh well, that kind of doesn't work with the way I think about the Bible and about about even like justice and stuff like that anymore. But it's okay because it's literally a biblical story. Like, so I can't deny that it's in the Bible. So is there a story I can pull out of that? And yes, I've been working on it, and it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. I cannot wait. And that led me down the rabbit hole of like, well, I kind of want to do other biblical stories because this one's gonna be so cool, and it's like fun to like do this like research type of driven comic, like Gary Hodges does with Mars bots versus dinosaurs. I'm thinking about like having him on or just talking to him a little bit more about that. I talked to him a bit on the interview I had with him about this stuff, but now that I'm gonna be doing a research heavy comic book, I want to ask him like more questions. So let's see. I don't know what to draw, but oh, these are like really thick. Do a little more of that writing. This is ancient Hebrew. So it's not ancient Hebrew, it's just me squiggling. So yeah, let's try this one out. Let's try a different color. I want a different color. No, not that. Oh, we could try this, even though it's gonna end up being kind of the same, but whatever. Definitely wanted a dark color. So this looks good, like if we can do some of these cool resist techniques with the oil pastel, and I kind of like the oil pastel anyways, then I'm gonna be able to do some cool stuff. Like I said, I'm trying to do a monoprint series, and then I'm gonna sell them and blah blah blah. I've been taking this class on like how to make it like a art, career out of your art and stuff, and I can't wait to try some of the techniques and stuff, and hopefully it works, because if you've watched my channel, you know that that's something I've wanted to do my whole life. So so yeah, I'm doing the Samson book, but that got me going down the rabbit hole, and now I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a series. So I'm gonna be doing 5 biblical stories, and it's gonna range throughout the whole Bible. It's gonna start with Enoch, and then it's gonna go to Lot, like Abraham and Lot, and then it's gonna go. But I'm probably doing the Samson story first. Then it goes to Samson, and then it goes to Nebuchadnezzar. And then it goes to the story in the New Testament where the dead rise after Jesus. I can't remember. I gotta find out like what's the sequence of act. I thought it was maybe after the resurrection, but it might be after just the crucifixion. I'm not sure. I think it's at the crucifixion that it happens, where apparently some saints, like the dead rise, and it's a weird little part of scripture that is not really explained and stuff. And I have a cool idea for that. That'll be the last one of the series that I do, at least for the initial part, because I think after that I'm gonna end up. This is coming out pretty good too. So oil pastels work. You just got some. Maybe not every kind does, because the first kind I tried didn't work. So that's pretty awesome. Let's try a yellow color. It's kind of dry enough. I get impatient. This one's running low. I've used this color a lot. But you don't need much to do jelly plate stuff. So yeah, and the whole series is going to be called, it's going to be called Collected. I think it's going to be called Olam. So, and Olam is a Hebrew word for the word age, and there's a point to it. And I'll get into all that kind of stuff eventually. But it's going to take time to make those comics, and I'm probably going to start with Samson, like I said, and then I'll probably go to the Enoch story, which I can't wait to do, and then maybe I'll just go consecutively from there. The Lot story is like the one that had the least ideas for, but I was like, I think I'm gonna do Lot, because the funny thing is like I'm doing stories like from the Bible, but they're not they're not like Moses, David, Jesus, John, Peter, like they're not like the most super like accessible ones. They're like these oddball characters. But it's kind of interesting because the book of Enoch, I'm exploring the kind of the pre-flood war. Adam, there's a lot of overlap in the lives. So Adam was alive for almost the whole life of Enoch because they all lived like hundreds of years and stuff. And almost all of the early characters in the Bible overlapped until you get to like I think it's Lamech or something. It's Noah's father. Until you get to that, then it's like it kind of, then some people are like dying off and stuff. And there's so much interesting stuff there, but I'm indirectly telling the story of Adam and Eve through Enoch, sort of, to a certain degree. And I'm indirectly telling the story of the patriarchs, specifically Abraham, through Lot. And Samson is more of the direct thing, but it's also, that's the only one where I'm gonna like really be, well, no, I shouldn't say that. That's gonna be probably the most literal Bible telling to a certain degree, but I'm filling in gaps. But I'm indirectly telling, sort of, I'm indirectly like hitting on hints of kings, aka Saul, David, and Solomon, because really they were the main kings of Israel, and after that Israel split. So I'm indirectly telling that, and also kind of Moses, because it's Judges where the story of what's his name? Samson. The story of Samson is in that book, and that's right between Joshua, which is, Joshua's came out to the land of milk and honey after Moses died, and like and after that is David. Well, it's the kings, but when I think of the kings, I think of David first and foremost. So it's like indirectly telling that period, sort of. But Judges is an interesting period. Joshua and Judges it's almost like that period, is like the barbarian period of the Israelites. It's the tribal kind of like if you were gonna make barbarian comics, genre comics, you know, Samson slash any of the judges is like the perfect way to make like a biblical barbarian story. I might have waited too long and this might have dried. Which, you know, I can still pick it up by using another layer. But that might have messed things up. We'll see. I'll leave it on for like slightly longer. I don't know if that will help, but so anyways, and then Nebuchadnezzar is like so many of the prophets surround like what happened with Babylon, and he's like the king of Babylon at one point, and he actually has times of faith and stuff. You know, if you've ever read, it's interesting because he's like the enemy of the Israelites, but at the same time he has like this interesting crisis of faith story. You know, so that's gonna be that story, and then so that's indirectly telling the prophets. So I'm hitting like every era of the Bible, but indirectly. And again, I was thinking about doing John actually for the New Testament to indirectly talk about like the rest of the New Testament, specifically Jesus, of course. But but then I kind of tripped up on this like this one little story, and I'm like, you know, I've always been fascinated by that story, and I'd love to delve into it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do this again. Oh well. I'll just, what color did I use? I could use the same color, even though I didn't have much of that. This is gonna be kind of weird that I'm pulling up the same color with the same color, but it doesn't matter really. You know, if I put like a darker color, it might show through a little bit, and that would be kind of interesting. So let me do that. Where's that blue I had? Here it is. So, I gotta go like soon, like in literally minutes, but I want to just pull this one up, and I'll finish off with the other idea I had for comics. So anyways, I got that kind of biblical stuff going, but I have tons of other stuff that's not like biblical, and you know, more along the lines of adventure. I mean, all the biblical ones are definitely going to be, you know, kind of adventure, at least to some degree. And I'd like to do more biblical after that, but that's, you know, I'll be lucky if I can actually accomplish this one task. And then the other one, biblical ones, might just be like included in the whole canon, I guess, of Olam, you know, which is like the series name, but it won't be like, it'll be like part 2 or something. I don't know what it'll be. Oh, I should have bared that off. Whoops. Oh well. So let's pull this one. So the other idea is one that I've probably talked to you guys about before, but it's gotten much more developed since then as far as just the writing and ideas of what it's going to turn into, which is the comic Shadow Star. And I still want to like jump into like other ideas I had, like Janaconda and like a million other things, like get into like glyph and stuff like that. But yeah, these are the two I'm really focused on, is the Bible stuff, and then Shadow Star, and that's going to be really cool too. So anyways, let's just pull this real quick, and then I gotta go get ready for work. Yeah, oh yeah. So the verdict is in. The Prismacolors work pretty good, work really good, and was it these I used? Yeah, the gallery oil pastels. Was that the one I used? Or no? Oh, I'm sorry. This is the one I just used just now. Okay, so these work really good. And then, oh yeah, those other ones, the Van Gogh, I think it was ones. See, I need to, where did I put those though? That's so weird. Anyway, I gotta get going, but yeah, that's seems to be the verdict. So, anyways, I don't know if anybody actually watched this or not, but this was a test, and I had fun. All right. I hope you guys are doing well, and we will talk next time. All right. Peace out.